Welcome to the Pine Lodge match of the day here at Challenge Recruitment Oval between Glenelg and Norwood. In commentary with me, my name is Rob Green. I've got Damien Woodwards and Reece Hamfrey. And Damien, a quick tip?
I'll go for Glenelg, probably 30 to 40.
Reece?
I think Glenelg, 3 goals.
I'll go the Bays by 3 to 4 goals as well. And free kick's going to go back to the Bays here, and taking it is Block. Block kicks towards the forward line. He's got the lead of Fisher. It's going to bounce out in front of him. He's approached beautifully on that occasion. Kick forward. High mark there. Taken beautifully by Grimer. What a start. Grimer deep in the right full forward pocket. Can kick from about 40 metres. This will test the breeze. It seems to be favouring that outer side.
And I'll just mention a couple of quick omissions from the lineup here today. We've got Matthew Bode out of the side and Angus Lally, who went through in the reserves.
Grimer's short kick into Doldig improved the angle, and the Bays have got the opportunity to put the first major on the day.
Already Glenelg looking pretty dangerous with a couple of their key forwards getting their hands on the footy. Todd Grimer, good for his confidence early, and of course Doldig having the first shot on goal.
Doldig now, kick from about 40 metres. Kick is away to the left-hand side and just sneaks in for a point. So Glenelg go to 1 point, and Norwood yet to score thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
Okay, and the omissions for Norwood from the lineup is Stephen Doyle, David Trotter and Brendan Littler. As Norwood come back from the defence, tucked away in the back pocket is Matthew Dawes, looking for something further upfield. Goes up the line, but well done, good pick up there by Davis. Now sends it Norwood into attack. Chance there for Walker, leading Rudolph to the football, but it beats both those players around him at boundary throwing.
Should be an interesting matchup, Taylor Walker and Sam Rudolph. Rudolph obviously done the job on a couple of big forwards this season, most notably Brant Chambers when Sturt were here a couple of weeks ago, so a good matchup for him today.
Of course, the Norwood forward line is strengthened with the inclusion of Jamie Vlatko, so perhaps take the limelight off Taylor Walker, who has been dominating in the first half of football, hasn't he? But he disappears in the second. Anyway, play continues. We're going to have another stoppage.
So Cranston going to have a big advantage today with the omission of Doyle from the side. Well, not the omission, the injury of Doyle. Throw up again. Coming down towards the Norwood team there. And handball, oh, it ends up with McConnell. Couldn't take it with him. There's Davis. Coming away is Donahue. Tackled beautifully on that occasion, and that's holding the ball. And the free kick's going to come back to the Bays. And it will be taken by
Murphy.
By Byron Murphy. He comes right across the ground out to Lachlan Button. Kick had to be perfect and was. Button plays on along the members' wing. Looks for Hinge. Takes the mark well. Hinge, quick kick, smothered there by Thomas. He didn't even know he'd smothered it. Rudolph sneaking forward. Good hard contest early this game, and in there again for the legs was Davis. Kick comes forward. Oh, here's Walker. Oh, beautifully done, Piopolo. Look at the pace of him, he can go all the way. Piopolo, 3 bounces towards goal, drills it low, and misses away to the left-hand side. And we've got 1 point apiece thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
Boys, I don't know if Trevor Hill will be entirely happy with that bit of play there. Vlatko had a couple of metres on his opponent. Piopolo instead opting to run and have a ping himself.
He was sort of caught in two minds there. As Glenelg now kick out with Captain Mules. He's going to find Rudolph right in front of us here in the grandstand. Sam Rudolph thought about dishing off to the captain. Change his mind. So meanwhile, Norwood get numbers back, and so Glenelg have to go back into their defensive 50 over towards Luke Panozzo, who's playing his 100th game here this afternoon. Kick out to the outer side, marked there by Murphy. He's backed up by Kane. Kane now sends Glenelg into attack. Chance there for Doldig, knocked away from him. Norwood defence now with numbers. James Gallagher there, who played his 150th last week for the Redlegs. Sends them up towards centre wing, but chopping it off there for Glenelg. Nice mark there by Ben Kane.
Kane now, outer side for the Bays. Went to go in ball, but then went further out wide. His teammate there, I couldn't pick up the player on the camera at this stage. Football goes out towards the back. Is that Kite? Kite gathers. It's on the outer side, handball's in. Football ends up now with, pick up that player, Culpert, I think it was. Oh, great mark by Mules at the back there. Mules. Good form for the Bays this season. The captain drives it. Here's Doldig. Can't take the mark. towards the back of the pack again. Kite clears again. Left foot kick along the boundary line, and it will see the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, Benny Mules, the captain leading by example there. Him and Ben Kane have been really busy across half-back early in the game and setting up a number of forward thrusts. They just can't seem to find a solid target inside 50 yet.
So boundary throw-in. Cranston at the front. Taps it to the advantage of block, but he's wrapped up immediately, and we're going to have another stoppage. So nearly 5 minutes gone. Cockatoo Ridgewine scoreboard, 1 point apiece. Pye throws up the football. Chance there for Thomas, a big inclusion here for the Redlegs this afternoon. Over towards Gallagher. Tim Weatherald, who's always busy around the packs, sends it up into the middle of the ground there. Player at Glenelg crowd wanted a free kick, none forthcoming there. A chance from Donahue. He's set up Sam Rowe there. He's tackled immediately, and we're going to have a ball up just on Norwood's centre-half forward position.
Of course, if you want a copy of this game, you can call Charles on 8271-1669. This game or any other this season, he will look after you. Panozzo, away to Backwell. Hands it to Murphy. Away go the Bays through Sugars. Sugars kick towards the forward line. He's got Grimer, couldn't take the mark. Beautifully spoiled away. Handball comes to Doldig. Round his body towards the outer pocket. Underneath the footy. Great effort on that occasion by... Oh, they're coming away, the Redlegs, through Koshel, is it?
Yes.
Koshel playing in defence. Kicks towards the middle of the ground. His kick was intercepted.
I think Koshel might be the ruckman and just lending a hand with those tall forwards of Glenelg.
Ball comes in. Fisher's there. And Grimer plucks it from the back of the pack. Mill kick from 15 out directly in front.
Good sign for supporters who have come down to Challenge Recruitment Oval today, boys. It looks like it's going to be a pretty free-flowing game. I mean, the ball's moved pretty quickly from one end to the other. Neither midfield's really been able to get on top, and Glenelg have got the chance to put the first goal on the board here through Todd Grimer, who's already looking pretty dangerous, boys.
Great player this season for the Bays, Grimer. Lines up, kicks the Bays' first goal, and Grimer's 37th career goal, and the Tigers go along to 1-1-7, leading Norwood, one behind, thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, Adam Koshel playing on the ball, but he's lending a hand to those tall forwards. You've got Doldig, you've got Grimer, you've got Kirkby down there, and he's going to have his hands full there this afternoon because they tend to share it around a bit.
They do, yeah. Look, that's probably the strength of Glenelg's forward line, that if you're trying to match up on one or two, it's normally the third that bobs up and kicks a few goals. I mean, Grimer, 5 goals last week, coming off some pretty good form. So good move by Trevor Hill to put Koshel back there.
Of course, Glenelg going with the aid of a southwesterly breeze, about 20 k's. So the advantage here in this first term as Fisher sends them back into attack again. A great mark there by Murphy. He's taken a couple of contested marks here, and he'll go back and perhaps get Glenelg second on the board.
Be interesting to see how Glenelg copes with that, having Matty Bode in the side today. It does a lot of the hard things in and under and wins the footy around the contested ball. So a chance for a couple of others to step up today.
So Byron Murphy comes in, kicks. It's going to drift away across the face of goal and through for a minor score. So Cockatoo Ridgewine scoreboard, Glenelg 1-2-8, leading Norwood 1 point, and nearly 8 minutes gone first term.
Bring the footy back for the legs of Zorzi. So the Bays with the early running here. Zorzi, nothing really to kick to. He's called to play on.
Oh.
Beautiful kick into Donahue, sitting on 50. Plays on quickly. Gallagher feeds off to Kite. The Redlegs are away. Nice mark taken on that occasion by Dygan. Dygan plays on quickly to Weatherald, and that's a beautiful kick by Tim Weatherald, and Phillips has taken the mark just inside the 50, and this will test which way the breeze is going, Reece. Yeah,
interesting to see Tim Weatherall getting his hands on the footy early on. Probably one of the oldest blokes out there, but using it well so far.
Feeds it off to Thomas. Thomas, taken by Mules, gets around that player on the left boot towards goal and across the face. So Norwood get their second behind of the day, and they trail the Bays 1-8. Thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
Thomas, a brave man to take on Ben Mules in that situation.
So Panozzo kicks out, finds Fisher. Defensive 50. Kicks. The vice-captain, of course, Glenelg. Koshel in best position, takes a nice mark.
Terrific grab.
Dishes off to Dygan in the centre of the ground. Norwood looking to come down the corridor again. Finds Gallagher, has to pick it up on the half volley. Back towards Koshel, who'll chip it across. He's got Bartamucci free, who played a good game last week against Centrals. Matthew Bartamucci now sends the Redlegs deep into attack. Blacko on the lead, knocked away from him. Over towards Kane there for Glenelg now. No, he's tackled. Good tackle. Good defensive pressure there by the Redlegs, and Simon Phillips has been given a free kick. No, it's Donahue, sorry. And passes off, looking for Davis. A little casual there, the Redlegs. Ball comes out towards the informed Holmes. Over towards Hinge. They've got a player free with plenty of space on the outer side. It's Backwell. Backwell sends Glenelg into attack, but there for Norwood is Stewie Bound.
Bound takes the defensive mark, gets it on quickly to Weatherald. He's got plenty of time now. His kick could have gone for Pilpolo, but he took a bounce. Now he sold himself into block. Coming away there was Thomas. Thomas's handball to Koshel. Koshel's kick slewed off the side of the boot. Leading in the race for the Bays is Mules. And across the line there, could be holding the ball on Dygan. And look, Panozzo's caught Dygan for holding the footy right in front of the Bays grandstand, and didn't they love it?
Taylor Walker there and just lost his footing, and a bit unlucky, I thought, but he didn't seem to make a great deal of effort to get rid of the footy once he went to ground.
Sorry, viewers. Panozzo, half-back left for the Bays. He's going to go long, close to the man on the mark, but clears him. Hinge has got the sit on this one. Couldn't take the mark. Well done by Kite. Crashing in was the ex-Bayan culprit. And this game is quite hot early on, Reece.
Hard to say who settled the best so far. I mean, Glenelg got a goal on the ball, but it's pretty hot footy.
Yeah, pretty hot footy. So umpire Williams throws up the football. Cranston gets the knock. Chance for Puopolo, but eludes him. Ty Allen ties it up there. Centre wing. We're going to have another ball up with umpire Sam Hay.
What do you think, guys? I reckon these sides are very similar the way they go about it. They're just very even sides. Not huge in height, but just solid all around the midfield and tackle well.
Yep. Well, it should be. Hopefully we'll have an even contest here this afternoon. Glenelg, of course, winning 12 straight. And then
last week,
until last week. Of course, Norwood have been in good form, but just lost in the last minute of the game against Centrals last week at the parade. Over towards Bartamucci, tackled by Backwell. Chance for Glenelg. In their attacking 50, Colpert leads in the race for the football. Turns around, kick smothered. Picked up there by Kite. Just trying to get out of defence, but good work by Block. Sends it across the face of goals, but in best of position is the informed fullback in Brett Zorzi. He's got a player running in space. It's Dygan there for the Redlegs. Now, he's a bit of a racehorse. He'll take one bounce, maybe two. Tucks it under his wing. Sends Norwood into the centre forward position. They're trying to go down the corridor as much as they can. He's found Jesse Aish just on the half-forward line. Got a player free in the outer side of the ground. Jackman, another rebounding defender. Of course, Glenelg now pushed numbers back. Colpert, who can perhaps, he'd probably be able to make this distance. On the run, he's going to go back. Probably kick it in towards a leading forward. Presenting now is Rowe. Knocked away from him. Chance for Jesse Hayes. Great pick-up, but there's no support there for the Norwood player. Chance there for Gallagher. He's tackled immediately, and we're going to have a ball up in Norwood's attacking 50.
Looks like an interesting tactic that the Bays are going to employ today. I mean, all their defenders and you know, a lot of their wingmen and half-forward flankers seem to be getting right behind the ball when it goes in Norwood's 50. On that instance, all bar four of the Glenelg players were in Norwood's forward 50.
Puopolo wrapped up there by Fisher. And we'll have another ball up, and tackling so far has been strong by both sides. Looks to me as though the breeze might just be favouring the end to which Glenelg are kicking. Another bounce down, Rowan Cranston. Panozzo tackled as soon as he got it to Mules. Gets through traffic, gets his kick away, was under pressure. What vision by Mules.
Been terrific, Mules.
Straight to Kane. Bays are away through Allen. Allen's kick was over the head of McConnell. Beautifully done by Kirkby. Goes back to Holmes, who might have caught one high. And Holmes will take the free kick on the outer side centre wing for the Glenelg Tigers. Hasn't got a lot to kick to at this stage, Holmes. Decides to go high up the line. Dolding's under it. There was Koshel. Football comes away. Here's Fisher. Fisher towards the lead of Grimer. Couldn't take the mark. Nicely spoiled by Bound. Grimer recovers. And the ball nearly trickles over the line. Here's McConnell. He was grabbed by Zorzi. and we'll have a ball up on the right forward pocket for the Tigers.
Now, I just spotted Sam Rudolph. Just see he's a few metres away from the pack. That's what Glenelg have had in these contested ball situations, a player just about 10, 20 metres away from the congestion. And they've been able to feed it to him as we see Jesse Aish relieve for Norwood up towards the centre wing position. Chance now for Panozzo, gets around, able to dish off towards Allen. Allen's got a player running. Holmes sends Glenelg into attack. It's going to be chopped off by the Redlegs defence. Good work again. Chance now for Phillips. Dishes out towards Dygan. Wants to go in the back pocket, but decides to go towards Simon Phillips in the defensive part of the ground for Norwood. He's got Davis now. Davis kicks up the line. Dropped there by Taylor Walker. Rudolph is onto it immediately, and he's got a player backed up in Allen. Allen now will look to set something up towards Button. He may have set him up there, but good work there by Button to get away from those tackles. But his kicker's astray, and Nord now will come through the corridor again. Bartamucci looking for support. Someone to dish off to. Has to go backwards now. Jackman there waiting. Back to Bartamucci. Bartamucci now's got a player free in Donahue. Spots him, finds him. Donahue plays on straight away. Series of handballs in Nord's attacking zone. They realise they're not going to be able to make the distance. They're going to try and get someone closer to goal, but Glenelg, with the defensive numbers there, have locked it up.
Young Josh Donahue, he tends to slip under the radar a little bit up in Norwood's forward line. He's only a small player, but you've got to watch him because when he gets his hands on the footy, he's pretty slippery.
And ball comes away, Backwell, quick little kick towards the members' grandstand, hoping it will trickle out of the Glenelg fans, and that it does.
Boys, I've been pretty impressed with Norwood's backline, the way they've held up. I mean, Glenelg have probably had leading the Redlegs in forward 50 entries, but it's been rebounded pretty quickly. It's a great contest early.
Great game indeed, Reece. Enjoying it. Koshel, hands down. There was Donahue. Ace flew at it. Here's Phillips on the left boot. His kicks out in front beautifully on that occasion of Walker. And Walker can register Norwood's first goal for the day. He'll kick from right on the 50.
Not much poor Sam Rudolph could do in that situation. I mean, it came in at an awkward angle for him. Walker already had probably one or two paces on him, and it sort of fell into his lap. So a good chance for the young fella to stand up and continue his good form. I wonder if Neil Craig will be watching.
Walker now, long run up. He's going to kick from just inside 50. Kick on the way, and it's away to the left. Very ordinary. If it doesn't even register a score, Damien.
No, disappointing there from Taylor Walker, because he's going to have to earn every mark he gets this afternoon opposed to Sam Rudolph. Meanwhile, Glenelg have taken the ball out of the defensive back pocket. Chance now for Dygan. Over towards Rowe there. Appeared to not have the football there, but the umpire let it go. We'll have a boundary thrown out of sight.
Un-Walker-like, I think, boys, you'd agree with that kick. He's normally a beautiful long kick of the footy on that occasion, just pulling it, maybe trying to get a bit of extra distance from just on the 50.
Yeah, I feel he may have been kicking right into the wind there, given the forecast of the breeze. Anyway, Glenelg now racing away from that last stoppage. Chance there for the leading forward, and Grimer, he's got it. He's beaten Bound on this occasion, takes it on the chest, and he'll go back and perhaps kick Glenelg second.
Brett Backwell's been pretty damaging, boys. I think you'll agree he's probably set up about 3 or 4 inside 50s so far, and I mean someone that Norwood are going to have to stop if they want to stop the footy going inside their defensive 50.
Meanwhile, the Redlegs have made a couple of changes. The on-baller, Colpert, coming off for Weatherall. And Koshel takes a spell for Ed McDonald, who's heading towards centre forward. Meanwhile, Grimer has made no mistake and gets Glenelg second there, 2-2-14. Leading Norwood 2 points on the Cockatoo Ridge Wines scoreboard. 80 minutes gone, first term.
Already, we've mentioned it a couple of times, Todd Grimer providing a pretty big, strong target. Interesting to see how long they leave Bound. I think he's Bound playing on Grimer at this stage, boys. 2 goals inside the first 15 minutes of footy. 18-minute mark, I should say.
I suppose probably a lot is going to have to rely on delivery. We just saw the delivery to the leading forwards to take it on the chest rather than perhaps the forwards taking it overhead. And that's where the defenders will spawn.
A bit more open forward line, I think, the Bays at the moment. Just moving it in a bit quicker when they do move it in. But Norwood getting enough of the ball to be right in this game. They've had their opportunities.
And as we, sorry to interrupt, boys, we've got an umpire leaving the field here. Play's been stopped. He seems to be clutching his left wrist, it looks.
It's one of the boundary umpires.
He's one of the boundary umpires. Not good to see. Interesting to see if the SANFL's got someone on standby to come up for him.
They normally rotate 3 boundary umpires, I think.
Well, we don't see that very often, but he's hoping he's okay.
And there is Rowe for Norwood. Can get it away.
Perhaps a field umpire can substitute the boundary.
Taken high was Weatherall. He's in the cricket pitch, called to play on. Now he's in a bit of trouble. Good enough to feed it over to Dygan. So it was Jackman. Jackman's kick went forward looking for Dygan. Over Donohue's head. Oh, it ends up there with Phillips. In there is Mules as well. And looks like we're going to have a ball up. Good tough footy by both sides, Reece.
Great pressure, isn't it? Norwood really need a goal, though. Glenelg have managed to put 2 away early, so Norwood need to hit back.
Cranston gets his hands to the footy, only as far as Weatherall, who was sat upon by Fisher. And another stoppage in front of a crowd of probably 3,000 people, boys.
Yeah, not a huge crowd, but they're making a bit of noise.
Yep, up they go again. Second man up was Dygan. Out it comes towards Kane. Well done by Ben Kane, gets it away to Panozzo. Panozzo's kick is a long one. Doldig's there on Kite. Doldig takes the mark. Play on, said the umpire. Plays on. His little chip kick as far as Holmes, who takes a beauty. 30 metres out directly in front for the Bays.
I think Doldig was pretty lucky. I think if we watch the replay, boys, Aaron Kite had probably had first bite of the cherry then, and Doldig ended up with it. Nonetheless, Glenelg got another chance to put their 3rd goal on the board.
Well, it's starting to get away from the legs a little bit if they can extend this lead to 18 points. They do have the breeze, however, the Tigers.
Tom Holmes, terrific young player, really stepped up, did a heap of training over pre-season, a lot of extra stuff.
And he squeezes it through for the Bays, so they go along to 3-2-20, leading the legs 2 behind, 2 points thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
Just on that point, boys, Tom Holmes, he's been featured in the media a little bit earlier in the year. He was a Coca-Cola Rising Star for the SANFL in about opening 5 rounds. Brett Backwell took him under his wing over summer, said, come with me, I'll get you fit, and he has. He's played on the ball most of the year and loves a goal, the young fella.
Yeah, certainly, only 19 years of age too, so promising career perhaps lies ahead for young Holmes. As the rucks go at it again, Cranston and Koshel. Another stoppage, so 22 minutes gone this first term. Just Glenelg been able to break away from Norwood in the last couple of minutes of play. At it again, Koshel gets a tap, but again, Backwell there. Glenelg getting the ball out of the way from the stoppages. Good tackle there on Aish on Mules, and it forces an error, and we're going to have a boundary throw-in.
Been terrific, Backwell early.
So we have got a boundary umpire on this side. He'll throw the ball back in. Cranston, Koshel at the back. Over towards Thomas. Handballs over to Puopolo. Wanting to break away from the pack. Not sure about... He perhaps could have handballed, but was in a tight situation there. Or perhaps a kick would have been better in those circumstances, Reece. And it's coming back again. It's going to Willoughby.
Meantime, Rory Kirkby's come back onto the ground and posing a bit of a threat of the target across 50.
Meanwhile, a bit of technicality going on here in front of us. A player being required to go back on the line of the mark. So Backwell on towards Holmes. So now Norwood have pushed numbers back. There's only about 2 players ahead of centre. There's Holmes, unsure where to go. Inside Glenelg's attacking zone, bound. Did he have one hand in the back? Yes, he did. And Glenelg will have another shot for goal.
I think, boys, it's our man again, Grimer, I think, getting up with the footy, and this will hurt the Redlegs if he's able to convert from about 30 metres out.
Yeah, so he'll be lining up for his third. So big quarter from Todd Grimer. Just goes back, we'll measure this one. So he's had a bit of practice going with the aid of this breeze, and that one, no mistake, splits the middle. So Grimer has his 3rd, and Glenelg have their 4th. They're 4-2-26, leading the Redlegs 2 points.
Well, we've sound like we're a broken record here, harping on it, but geez, looking dangerous, isn't he? And Norwood are going to try and have to get their matchups right down there because he's causing a few headaches.
I reckon that breeze is favouring, he aimed the right post and it's seeming to bring the ball back in. So I think we could say it's certainly favouring the left of screen and probably blowing directly down the spine almost. Koshel, hands to it, away for the Bays. There's Backwell, he's tackled beautifully. Umpire didn't pay it holding the ball, and in there is Gallagher, and we'll have another ball up in that muddy section of the Glenelg Oval.
And just quickly, I'll interject, Norwood looking at another scoreless quarter against Glenelg. They've only had one goal scored in 5 quarters of football so far.
Unbelievable. Ball comes away. Button's now moved into ruck, giving Cranston a rest. There's Gallagher, drives the legs forward. Here's Phillips, and he's going to kick into the breeze, and you don't like his chances from 60 metres into this wind.
No, well, last time when he was in this position, just outside of the forward 50, he dished off to a running player, I think, before, so wasn't too confident, but this time he's got no option but to have a shot.
So Phillips, nothing really to lose here. He's just got to give it all he's got. 55 metres out, close to the man, and it's going to fall 10 metres short. And at quarter time, Glenelg 4-2-26, leading Norwood 2 points, thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines, and the goal kickers for the Bays, 3 to Grimer and 1 to Holmes. Welcome back to Challenge Recruitment Oval for the start of the second quarter, and it's Glenelg kicking with a breeze in the first quarter, 4-2-26, leading Norwood 2 points. Koshel, Cranston gets the first handball to Fisher. Fisher kicks forward for the Bays, only as far as Jackman. Jackman's going to be awarded a 25-metre penalty. Bit of an altercation there between Grimer and Gallagher. So Jackman in the centre of the Glenelg Oval. Kicks towards centre half forward. Out in front beautifully on that occasion was Vlatko.
Boys, you just feel that Norwood are really going to have their work cut out for them in the ruck. Trevor Cranston from Glenelg's probably been the dominant big man / ruckman in the competition this season. And just without Stephen Doyle, it's going to make it a pretty big day for Adam Kosho and whoever he's going to get support from.
So Vlatko aiming for Norwood's second goal in its 6th quarter against the Bays this season. From outside the 50. It's underneath it a little bit, so away to the right-hand side. Flying high. Oh, the ball's roved. Was that Pilpolo? And he misses to the left-hand side. Norwood's 3rd point for the day, trailing Glenelg by 23 points on the Cockatoo Ridge 1 scoreboard.
You mentioned that scoreline, Rob. At the moment, the Redlegs 3 points, 3. I mean, you only have to think back to round 9, May 23. It was a pretty dark day for them, or dark night, I should say, when they were kept to 1 goal, 3 against the Bays. You wonder whether that's played on their mind during the week, and on the other side of the coin, whether Glenelg have mentioned it in their preparation.
Certainly, it appears that way so far, Reese. As we wait for Sam Rudolph, he's going to get the call up for the umpire. We'll wind up, sends the ball out to the outer side. Ricochets off a Norwood play. Chance there for Gallagher to send the ball back into attack. Glenelg defenders there with the spoil. Chance now for Hinge there. Breaks away from the defensive 50. Looking for a forward. Grimer, not too far for him. A good tackle there on Kirkby. And he's got rid of it by foot in the end, but umpire said play on. Bound sends them back into attack. Chance there for Taylor Walker on his hands and knees. Rudolph over the top. Donahue on the ground as you'd expect from the little forward there. Sends it out to the Puopolo direction, but it eludes him. We're going to have a boundary throw in. 2.5 minutes gone, second term.
Great tackle from Nicholas Daigan down this end. I've been pretty impressed with him so far. He's been under siege at a cross half back, but standing up well for the Redlegs.
Puopolo, handball away, Weatherald, goes for the right foot around the body, and it's carried, has it?
Gee,
no.
Just
taken by Mules. So Mules in the true full-back position.
You begin to wonder whether it's a curse that's on Norwood at the moment.
Goes towards the outer side. Nice long kick. Underneath it there was Button. Couldn't take the mark. Fisher decked after he kicked it. And it's going to come down to block. So Block will take the footy out of side for the Bays. Kicks towards Grimer. Beautiful set of hands, this guy. Didn't break stride. Plays on. He's run his full measure. Went back towards the Norwood goal. Kicks towards Kirkby. And Kirkby will kick from 50 metres, and this will test the breeze, Reece.
It will. Kirkby just giving Dygan the slip on that occasion, but I mean, pretty hard to be critical of Dygan in that situation when Grimer comes out, takes a strong mark, almost at the, sort of centre wing, turns around and bombs it in nice and long.
Kirkby into the teeth of the breeze and just knocked away there by the Norwood defence, and Glenelg go to 4-3, leading Norwood 3 points.
Okay, Brett Zorzi wastes no time. Got
terrible kick in
against Hinge. Glenelg supporters thought he came over the top there, but umpire let it go. Matthew Dawes looking for Puopolo against Panozzo. He wins that battle on this occasion, have a boundary throw. I'm just checking up forward. I've just noticed Brett Zorzi, the best Norwood defender, is on Justin McConnell. Interesting move. Boundary throw in. Donahue trying to race away with the football. Chance there for Bartamucci. Missed the football. Gallagher on the bottom of the pack. We're going to have a ball up.
We didn't see Bartamucci sort of tackle off the ball there on the Glenelg play. I thought the umpire might have blown the whistle. I was looking at you there, Reece.
Okay.
I missed it, sorry, boys.
That's all right.
Rucks at it. Rowe gets through the pack, scrambles the ball forward, but Rudolph in front of Walker. Races away, sends it, well, pretty awful kick in the end, but it got the desired result. Found Murphy. Murphy had Holmes running for him. Now he looks up to see which forward is presenting. This time it's Doldig opposed to Kite. Another interesting matchup there. Dygan there, going backwards, and over the line we have a boundary throw in.
In front of the Pine Lodge time clock. If you want to call Charles on 8271 1669, he'll look after you and give you a copy of this game or any other that he's taped this year.
Big DVD package. Ideal gift for Father's Day.
Dawes comes away. Here's Gallagher, pursued by Fisher.
Oh.
Gallagher played for the free kick and will get it. Gallagher now. Norwood trailing by 4 goals. Really need to get moving here. Have already eaten in 5.5, 6 minutes worth of their time with the wind. Gallagher out wide to Thomas. Hasn't seen a lot of it compared to his usual busy self today. Thomas into Koshel, takes the mark.
Whoa.
Oh, no awareness there, but he was good enough to get it away to Davis. Davis's high kick. There's Phillips, and Vlatko couldn't take the mark. And the ball will go out of bounds and we'll have a throw in.
Pretty crucial 5 minutes coming up for Norwood. If they let this time clock tick out to about 10 or 15 minutes still without a goal, it's going to make it pretty hard to fight back and to go into half-time with some sort of confidence.
Certainly. So, just waiting on the boundary umpire. Ball towards Glenelg, but play there is immediately wrapped up. They have another stoppage with umpire Sam Hay. Of course, Norwood now deep into attack. Desperate for a goal here. Donahue, no, it's stolen from him by Thomas, trying to get through the Bay defence, but Rudolph again sends him out of trouble. And Bartamucci appealing for a free kick, but none forthcoming. We have a boundary throw in. Nearly 7 minutes gone of this second term. 4-3-27 Glenelg leading Norwood 3 points. Cockadoo Ridge Wine scoreboard. Thomas again paddles it towards Donahue. Meanwhile, umpires picked out a free. It's going to Thomas. He appeared to be held, I suppose, after he pushed that football forward. Now he just looks up, and right in front of him is just Jamie Vlatko, and he's opposed to 3 Glenelg defenders there. Probably see on the screen now as Donahue races towards goal. So Thomas fancies himself here. No, he's going to dish off right at the very last moment to Phillips.
Just while I got you boys, a quick one up the other end of the ground. A big job for Aaron Kite playing on Matthew Dildig at the moment, giving away probably about 20 kilograms in body weight. So if the ball gets down there and they're stuck one out, he's going to have his hands full trying to contain the big power forward.
Yeah, it's an interesting move because I've seen Kite actually line up at full forward this year for Norwood and also on the wing, and just on occasions, yeah, having a run in defence. And this is interesting on a power tall forward, perhaps hoping to run off him. But meanwhile, Phillips has made no mistake, and much to the relief of the Norwood side and the Norwood supporters down here, they get their first of the afternoon, so they've matched their score from The round 9 encounter, 1-3-9, trailing Glenelg 4-3-27, Cockatoo Ridgewine scoreboard, 8 minutes gone. Special comments, Reese Humphrey.
That's the one, boys. Apart from Piopolo's run to the 50 and almost kick it from 45 in the first quarter, Simon Phillips has probably been the only bloke that's even looked like kicking a goal for Norwood at this point.
Bounce down, Cranston against Koshel. There is Davis. And we'll have another ball up right in the middle of the cricket pitch.
Looks pretty boggy and heavy in the centre square area in there, boys. I mean, the boys with the white boots might have a bit of cleaning to do tonight.
So Norwood finally getting a major on the board. And Colpert throws the ball back to the umpire. Margin 18 points. Norwood definitely in this game. If they can get into half-time almost level with the breeze. Here's Koshel. Kicks towards full forward. There was Rowe, nicely roved on that occasion by Kane to Rudolph, gets it to Mules, well worked the bays to Button. Button's handball to Holmes. Holmes back in board there, good contest. And Block wraps it up for the Tigers.
You just feel, boys, that Jesse Ash is probably someone that needs to step up a bit for the Redlegs. If Taylor Walker and Jamie Vlatko are going to be pretty well held by Sam Rudolph, Panozzo and Mules and co back there, he really needs to try and provide a tall target inside 50.
So, meanwhile, umpires picked out a free. It's going to the advantage of Nord. Reece, do you think Jesse A should have a run on the ball? Perhaps?
Well, I don't know what his fitness levels are like, Damien, but I mean, for a big man, he does move pretty well. So, I mean, it's probably worth throwing him in there just to see if he can have some sort of quick impact, almost Lance Franklin on the ball type.
Yeah, exactly. As we watch Thomas now, sending Nord into attack. I don't know who he was trying to look for there, perhaps Walker, but he was opposed to two Glenelg players. Meanwhile, Glenelg trying to find a way out of defence. One way, then the other goes back well. Back to where it came, Rudolph, Panozzo. Now they're sharing around a bit. Chipping about, handballing. Rudolph again linking there. And Glenelg, yep, comes unstuck, but it falls back into place for him as we watch McConnell. Good punch by Zorzi, but right in the middle of the ground, waiting there is Backwell. Goes one way again and switches the play, and he's found Kirkby inside 50.
Brett Backwell, sorry, boys, has been everywhere in the second term.
And just almost every time he goes one way, then he changes his mind at the very last minute to spot someone else. And out-foxes the Nord opponents on every occasion. I
don't think we can understate the role Sam Rudolph's played either for the Glenelg side out there today. I haven't seen the possession count, but I dare say he'd be over 10. What are we, 11 minutes into the second quarter, and he hasn't turned it over once, I don't think.
So we're watching, is it Fisher in that forward pocket for Glenelg. Comes in. And it's made no mistake. Nice goal there deep in the forward pocket. And Glenelg have done something which Nord weren't able to do in the first quarter, kick a goal against the breeze. They moved to 5-3-33, Nord 1-3-9, and we're back to a 24-point margin.
Yeah, it immediately undoes, I should say, Norwood's good work and Phillips's goal. I mean, all of a sudden, you mentioned back to 24 points. And as we see Norwood's captain, James Gallagher, coming back onto the ground, and not surprisingly, straight into the guts.
Bounce down, we'll throw up on that occasion. Gallagher's there, Backwell again, set upon. Beautiful tackling by Norwood, but it comes away to Kane. Kane's handball, over the top. Beautiful little pass. Oh, it was intercepted nicely on that occasion by Dygan. And we'll have another ball up. Good movement, the bays out in the middle, Reece.
Oh, yeah, terrific. I mean, if Backwell doesn't get his hands on it, as we saw just then, it's Ben Kane. It was not him, it's Tom Holmes running through, so it's a few for Norwood to match up on.
Koshel was in there, roving his ruck work. Ball up once again. Can Norwood hold the Tigers? It's just threatening to get away from them, I reckon.
Well, again, you just watch this stoppage here, and Backwell is well away from this pack. He'll get the loose ball if it comes out.
Him at this point in time. Thomas comes away, his handball out in front of his teammate there in Davis. Here's Pupolo, stands up in the tackle, gets it away beautifully to Colpert. The umpire's paid holding the ball.
He's been caught twice today, Pupolo holding the ball, maybe just a little bit slow to get rid of it. You know, the old the adage from the coach's first give. It's pretty important today when there's a lot of pressure.
Knocking up, getting kicks out in front of McConnell, but Zorzi kept his feet beautifully, got out of trouble, handed it over to Kite. can go further down the ground. Couldn't get to McDonald. Kite through the middle. Kick over Colpett's head, an ordinary one. Oh, well done, Walker. Keeps his feet in the mud. Bangs it on the boot. Over the head of Phillips. Straight into the arms of Mules, and the Bays are away.
So the Bays away from defence. Panozzo gets it back again. Handball over towards Mules. He's got space. Decides to get around a Norwood opponent. Donahue takes a bounce through the middle of the ground, sending it out towards the Doldig direction. Now, good body work there by Kite, who's obviously a slimmer build to Doldig. Blockers, meanwhile, tackled, and we're going to have a ball up just on Glenelg's half-forward line. It's nearly 14 minutes gone.
Yeah, full marks to Aaron Kite there. We mentioned before that he'd have to work pretty hard to try and move Doldig off the ball. On that occasion, he was able to do it and almost win the footy.
So Cranston knocks it out. Glenelg, Murphy, handballs over towards Backwells and delivers, and no, nearly finds McConnell there, but right in front of the pack is a teammate who sends it high, wide and handsome, who's going to be in best position here. Good defence there by Norwood. Davis now, he's got Dawes running for him. Will it set up for him? He has to wait for it. Meanwhile, Doldig just wraps him up, and Glenelg supporters snout louts on the hill there. Appreciate the work there by Matthew Doldig to keep the ball in the area.
Matty Dawes, I'm sure he knew it was coming, but when Doldig hit him like a ton of bricks, the crowd went wild right in front of the Tiger Hill.
Difference between the two sides at the moment, the forward line pressure and the Bays tackling, keeping the ball in their area has been magnificent.
Yeah, you're spot on there, Rob. I mean, we saw probably 2 or 3 minutes ago Taylor Walker get the footy in the centre and just sort of bomb it long and hope, and Ben Mules was there to mop up.
Knock away by Doldig. Whoa! Throw.
They were off there, the Bays too.
Not sure who that was against on that occasion.
Player, yeah, perhaps 37.
Might have been Horan.
Yep.
Thomas, little chip kick, puts Davis right under the pump, crashing in on that occasion. Here's Fisher. Comes back to Kane, couldn't take it first. There's Horan. And the umpire calls play on. Button's kick. Oh, it was a very ordinary one. Bound's going to lead the race there. Not quite wanting the ball on that occasion was Murphy. Horan under a bit of pressure to McConnell. McConnell's handball to Grimer. Will it sit? It's intercepted by Dygan. What a tackle! Unbelievable football.
Boys, how is Glenelg's ferocity at the footy at the moment? We've seen Doldig put Matthew Dawes almost through the fence down here in the forward pocket. Byron Murphy cannon into Dawes a minute later, and Todd Grimer, he gave away a free kick there, but gee, he hit his Norwood opponent hard.
How the game has changed in the last 20 years when you see tall forwards hammering tackles and getting the ball in the area like that.
Meanwhile, Norwood called to play on. Dygan over to Bound. Now sends it high into the middle of the ground. Walker gets a hand on it. Now to the advantage of Donahue. Just has to get around an opponent. Decides to go by foot into the forward line. Chance for Phillips. Soccers it out in front of him. Has he got the pace to get away from his Glenelg opponents? No. Again, good defensive there. Play by Ben Mules.
Surprise, surprise. Ben Mules throwing his body over the footy. That's what he's renowned for. And stopped almost a likely Norwood goal running forward there.
You just think after that Norwood goal, Glenelg have lifted in intensity in this second term. Determined to keep the Redlegs as well, their score as low as possible, as the Walker taps it towards Donahue. Quick on the boot, a chance for Redlegs second. Yes,
he's got it.
Well done, good work there by the Norwood attack.
Josh Donahue, that's what he's there for, to kick those smart crumbing goals. He's been able to hold his spot for most of the season, and that'll do himself no harm from a badly needed goal to Norwood.
Certainly desperately needed one, Reece, you're right there. And finally Norwood, there's going to be a free kick. Gee whiz, comes out to Chris Kane.
Yep,
to Fisher, but Fisher's kick only as far as Dygan. Dygan's little kick. He's been decked after he's kicked it.
Oh!
Crowd not happy.
Grimer's trying to... He's lost his temper a bit here.
It almost looks as though the umpire was going to report Grimer. I don't know what for. There's two blokes running into each other.
Ed McDonald kicks towards the forward line, and a great defensive mark taken by Cranston. Feeds it off to Backwell. Look at this movement. They're out as quick as a flash. Mules, long kick towards the Doldig direction. It's out in front of him, and Kite pushed him off the ball. Playing a good game for the Redlegs, Kite. One of their best. In towards Koshel. Koshel now, centre half back for Norwood. Good effort there by Kite and a 50-50 ball to keep his feet and win the ball back for his team. Back to McDonald. Ed McDonald now plays on. Short little kick out in front of Davis, and it's kicked out on the full, and you just can't afford that when you're trailing by 3 points.
Just back to that Todd Grimer incident, boys. The umpire seemed to have a couple of quiet words in his ear for probably about 10 or 20 seconds there. I didn't see the book come out. I don't think there was too much in it.
No, the player, he did knock a player over, and then he approached James Gallagher and just was about to give him a kidney punch, I think. And that's what he was talking to him about. He just lost his cool there for a moment, Todd Grimer. Meanwhile, in the middle of the ground, Kite, who's just starting to get in the game for Norwood.
He's been terrific, Kite.
Yep, over towards Dawes now. He's got a player free on the outer side with plenty of space in front of him. It's Davis, it appears to be, over towards McDonald. Now heads towards goal, but there's no one there. He didn't look on that occasion, and it falls straight into the chest of Ben Mules, the captain of the Bay side, and he's got Kane. That's Ben Kane. Righty, over towards Backwell. Now won't get away from Donahue there. Good tackle there. Good pressure. They can't. Donahue gets it back again. Good play, but he's set up his ruckman in Koshel. He's tackled. Supporters want a free kick. No, says the umpire. Jackman now wheels around looking for a forward, but there's no one there for the Redlegs. And it's going to be Horan take the... no, sorry, that's Kane. Sorry, Ben Kane there will relieve the pressure for the Glenelg side.
Kane, high kick along the wing. Grimer will fly. Didn't quite get in position. Dygan stayed down. He handballed to Bartamucci, who went to Culpet. Culpet handballs over the top. Here's Gallagher. Straightens the body. Goes towards the northern goal. And Norwood get 2 in a row.
He had an option, Gallagher, who said, I'll go myself, and bombed it from about 40 metres. Just what the Redlegs needed to stay in touch.
All of a sudden, the legs 3-3-21, only trailing by 12 points. Glenelg 5-3-33, thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines and Reese. That was good play by Dygan just to stay down.
Kept a pretty cool head on that occasion, didn't he? Smart footy. And Gallagher, well, when he has a shot 9 times out of 10, he's going to go pretty close. A very experienced campaigner.
Yeah, certainly a much-needed goal there for the Redlegs, and it just changes the game a little. We just appeared where Glenelg were going to run away with it. The Redlegs have responded. Meanwhile, they'll get it's a free kick going the way of Ty Allen in the middle.
Boys, those 2 Redlegs goals almost against the flow of play, weren't they? I mean, Glenelg were making all the play and hitting the contest harder, but they've been able to stem the flow, and quick goals have got them right back in it.
So Glenelg into attack again. Zorzi in front of McConnell. He's paid the mark here. And I think it's the Norwood defence players like Kite and Dygan that have actually helped Norwood get back into this game. Rebounding from defence. Chance there for the Redlegs, but player there in Button sends it over the line. We have a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, terrific work. You mentioned then, Damien, it is those almost loose playing defenders who are generating a lot of run from defence for Norwood and keeping them in the contest.
Button and Rowe. Button got it away. Murphy. Todd Mules got it in there. There's Kirkby, wrapped up by Kite. And he's flying high. He's doing the hard things. I reckon he's Norwood's best player so far today, Aaron Kite. Another ball up, Kirkby. And a lot of players around the footy. It's the strength of the Bays now. They'll just strangle this game now. Norwood have got 2 quick goals. Norwood are going to find it very difficult indeed to break free of this situation. Glenelg solid at keeping the ball in.
Tell you what, this bloke isn't far behind him. Phillips, he's been very busy.
Phillips to Weatherald. Look at the pressure on the Bays. They just can't get it out. Zorzi, his kick, only as far as Kane. There we see it again. They're just under pressure every time they go to clear. Sherwood in the middle of the ground. On the left boot. Chips a nice little kick out there in front of Kirkby.
If they get the switch on here, Glenelg have got a couple free across half forward.
Button's kick was a good one to Horan. Horan plays on quickly. Handballs back to Kirkby if it sits. Oh, he threw that to Holmes.
This was quick.
And a great tackle by Dygan, and we'll have the ball up in front of the Pine Lodge scoreboard. Pine Lodge time clock, I should say, and call Charles on 8271-1669.
Interesting here, boys. Ben Mules just drifting forward, perhaps wanting to have a pot shot at goal from 50. James Gallagher pretty quick to pick him up.
Here's a chance for Glenelg now as... we'll just try and pick up that play. It looks like Ty Allen. Yes, it is. And Ty Allen, well, just as the Redlegs are starting to get back into the game, responds very well from that stoppage and whacks on Glenelg 6. So they 6-3-39, leading the Redlegs 3-3-21, Cockatoo Ridge Wines scoreboard.
Ty Allen and his blue boots that he was given from Josh Marnie at the end of last season. They've been on target and they've been working wonders for him. He is McGarry medal betting. He's certainly inside the top 10 and that's just shown us why. Boys, just quickly while the ball's gone back into the centre, Taylor Walker off for Norwood.
Okay, play resumes. Perhaps just as someone for Norwood that needs to stand up. We haven't called Timmy Weatherall too much this afternoon.
Had a bit of a purple patch midway through the first term, but has gone missing since.
He's right on Backwell there, so perhaps maybe doing a tagging role there.
Terrific tackle
this time.
Speak of the devil.
Yep.
Just noticing Hinge has been moved onto Kite.
Maybe to try and stem some of that attack that he's providing.
So meanwhile, Backwell leading the race for the ball. Bartamucci there with him. Zorzi now knocks it, trying to find a teammate on hands and knees there. Dawes and free kick to Glenelg. They didn't make an attempt to knock the ball out, so it's going to Brett Backwell. Immediately he's got a player leading. Grimer, no, doesn't complete the mark. Good spoil there. Phillips there in immediately with the football, but wrapped up straight away, and we're going to have a ball up just inside Glenelg's attacking 50.
Todd Grimer almost just snaffled another one, showing his frustration at dropping the mark there.
Oh, umpire's picked out a free. Umpire Sam Hayes just come in from 30 metres away.
Correct me if I'm wrong, boys, but Jesse Ace just coming on for his first run of the second term. I haven't seen him out there.
No.
I'm going to go back on my initial crowd estimation. I think it's more like 3.5.
I would say closer to 4. Yep.
Yeah.
Probably get to 3,900. As we watch, is it Grimer? No, it's Horan. He's missed. So first behind we've had for a while. So 6-4-40. Glenelg leading Norwood 3-3-21. 25 minutes gone, second term.
Thumping kick forward. There's Bown. Good mark by Bown, who's under it the whole way. The kick was a ripper with the breeze. Bown, not sure where to go. Ends up feeding it out wide to Thomas. His kick was smothered. Here's Phillips.
That's
It's
Kite.
Kite. Both blonde hair. Kite on the wing. Coachell!
Oh,
What
yes,
a mark.
got it.
You've got to pay that one, boys. Great fly.
So Coachell to bring the margin back to 15 points if he can kick truly here.
Yeah, well, he had an opportunity last week late in the game against Centrals to perhaps get the lead back for the Redlegs. And this is just the factor that lets him down. He's set shot kicking.
Been interesting how Trevor Hill's used him so far today. He's played loose in defence, the lend a hand. He's done a lot of work in the ruck and now having a shot on goal.
There's a siren. Coachell misses to the right-hand side. Disappointing result for the Legs, but they're in this game. 6-4-40 the Bays, Norwood 3-4-22, and quickly the goal kickers, 3 to Grimer, singles to Fisher, Holmes and Allen, and for the Legs, Phillips has 1, Donahue has 1,
Gallagher 1.
and Gallagher also 1. Welcome back to the Pine Lodge Match of the Day. I'm Rob Green, with me in commentary Damien Woodwards and Reece Homfrey. At half-time we have Glenelg 6-4-40 leading Norwood 3-4-22, and the Bays are going to come with the breeze in this third quarter. Underway, Cranston. There was Allen, but Coachell got it away to Gallagher. First kick of the quarter is a high one. Into the breeze, Walker's underneath it, couldn't take the mark. McConnell. Beautiful handball away to Kane. That was class. He always does something special, McConnell. Kane ends up with it again. Plays on. Runs towards 60 metres from goal. Out in front of Grimer. Couldn't take the mark. There's Kite. What a game he's played for the Legs. Feeds it back. Well done by the Legs. They're out of trouble. Thomas, no. But Murphy takes the mark. 70 metres from goal for Glenelg.
Gee, disappointing kick. There were 3 Norwood players there, and he found the Glenelg one.
Murphy, high kick underneath it, taking a great defensive mark. On that occasion was McDowell, or McDonnell.
Digan.
Digan it was.
third time lucky.
Norwood persisting with Jamie Vladko out of full forward, boys, despite the fact that he probably hasn't had much of an influence at all in the first half.
And also his opponent, Paul Sherwood, hasn't had to do much back there either. Meanwhile, centre wing. Chance now. Ball comes out towards Backwell. Oh, makes no mistake. Look at that pass. Lays out perfect there for Kirkby to go back and line up and perhaps, get Glenelg 7th. And, a couple of early goals to Glenelg. I feel this quarter they could break this game open.
You're right, Damien. Rob, my apologies, Rob. Rory Kirkby, he's a slippery character, isn't he? I mean, probably 3 or 4 times today we've seen him get free and take an easy, uncontested mark.
Well, just goes back, makes no mistake, and Glenelg, well, out of the blocks early. 2 minutes gone on this third term on the Pine Lodge time clock. Cockatoo Ridgewine scoreboard leads 7-4-46. Glenelg leading Norwood 3-4-22.
Exactly what Norwood didn't want, wasn't it, boys? Glenelg going forward and putting one on the board in the first 2.5, 3 minutes. It's going to be all uphill from here if they're going to turn the tide. 24 points down, 3 minutes into the third term.
So Koshel and Cranston. Cranston seemed to get the knock, and Block seemed to get a high tackle there. Play goes on with Panozzo, sending it inside 50. Kite there with the fist over towards Thomas. Hamels over towards the running Digan. Dishes out towards Dawes now. Dawes, a long handball up the ground, searching for someone, but boundary line will win out again.
I just wonder what Trevor Hill's going to try and do to turn the game in the third quarter, boys. What options do you think he has? Does he need to go a bit more defensive, or does he need to push his maybe his live wire forwards up the ground a bit more to try and get involved?
Yeah, perhaps that's something, pushing the forwards up. We haven't seen much of Jamie Vlatko. I was thinking perhaps Vlatko, SANFL half forward, Taylor Walker back to full forward. But anyway, Glenelg into attack again, and how's the umpire? He's going to give a free kick to Adam Kershell. But, I don't know. Maybe he'll need to swing a couple of defenders forward. See what they can provide.
Ends up with Dawes. Dawes, left foot kick along the outer wing. Beautiful pass taken by Walker. Looks to play on. Panozzo had him covered. So Norwood trailing by 4 goals. Walker's kick. High one in towards the forward line. Good mark by Rowe. Now Rowe's going to be too far out to score into the breeze. He can go to Phillips, offered him a lead. Weatherall's on his own. Goes over the head. McConnell back to Phillips.
Great mark.
Read it the better. And Phillips, who seemed to want the ball more than anyone else in that contest, has the ball, and he will kick from about 20 metres out.
Phillips only 176 centimetres tall. He flew over about 3 or 4 opponents who were almost, a foot taller than him.
Was there too as well, and I think Mark Micken would be disappointed with that, with this result. Falling in arms of Simon Phillips, who's probably been the most dangerous forward.
Must kick this goal for the legs, Phillips. And I think he squeezed it through.
Yes, just.
So Norwood move along to 4-4-28, trailing Glenelg 7-4-46, thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines, and that's a big one for the legs, Reece.
Yeah, look, for the first time all day, I think we could probably safely say Norwood managed to move the ball from, the defensive side of the ground to the wing, to the half-forward flank, and then straight into their goal square without the Glenelg players touching the footy. And it was pretty smooth movement, wasn't it?
And again, someone bobbing up for Norwood, who we haven't called much, Sam Rowe. Great mark there. He took a couple of screamers last week at Norwood Oval. Needs to step up for the Redlegs. Back in the middle. Glenelg looked to be getting away from the clearance here. Norwood now come out with it with Thomas. Was he legged? Yes. He'll go back and send the Redlegs into attack. Through the agency of Koshel, who's right in front of us here. In the Pine Lodge commentary position now over towards Timmy Weatherald, who's found some space. Donohue's on. No, he's going to try and centre the ball now. There's a nest of Redlegs in the middle. And the player there with the arms chopped will take the free kick in Thomas and have another shot on goal.
I just wonder what Weatherald was doing there. I know it's important to centre the ball, but gee, when you've got the footy at the half-forward flank and you're going to, sort of kick back towards the centre of the ground, you want to hit your target, don't you, boys?
On a small ground.
It can can be pretty dangerous, but as luck would have it, it's come off, and Thomas is going to have looks like he's going to have a shot on goal. He'll have to kick it from about 50 or just outside.
And just on this being a small ground, similar to Norwood, Norwood have actually got a good record here at the Bay. They've won 50 out of 86 encounters here. As we watch Thomas now, plays on to get closer towards goal, sends it up to the full forward spot. The big men fly, knocked down. Chance there for the Redlegs, Crummers now, but the Glenelg defence have got that player wrapped up. We're going to have a ball up deep in Norwood's attacking zone.
Look for Donahue in these situations when the ball's deep in defence, deep in attack.
Ball comes down towards the scoreboard there. Wade's Donahue. He's got Thomas, who takes a mark.
Well,
45 out.
Speak of the devil, he was there to set something up, wasn't he?
Well, I think this is just going to be out of range too.
I don't think he'll try the same again. The old balk and run around. I don't think it works twice in a row.
No, he seemed to like run out of room when he did it.
Man on the mark, Murphy.
Oh,
Smothers it.
full.
It was always on.
All right.
Play on Thomas to Gallagher. Dawes. Walker. Oh, that was Aish. Back to Dawes. Left foot pass in the direction of Vatko.
gee.
But intercepting nicely was Allen.
Had a dirty day, Vatko, hasn't he? Blokes have been chopping him off and getting in his way all day.
Allen towards the outer side, out in front of Fisher. And the kick was astray. And the boundary line won.
And again, like guys, as soon as that ball turned over, you just see the huddle went from the Norwood's attacking zone right into the middle of the ground.
You can't help but feel that Norwood let a real good opportunity slip then. I mean, Thomas had two, I won't say kickable shots on goal, but from 50, but a real chance to set something up. And Glenelg look like they're going to get away with it here and break away with the footy.
Gallagher. Cranston, he goes up, he goes down. What a player he is. High flyer there was Koshel. Here's Kane. Round one player. Handballs over the top. Block goes around the body. And Glenelg registered their 8th goal. 8-4-52 leading Norwood 4-4-28 thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wine.
We've seen it more than once today, haven't we? Norwood with most of the play for a while, and then Glenelg on the quick overlap, get the footy, 3 or 4 kicks down the other end, and it's a goal. And yeah, look, they've kicked the first 2 of the third quarter, and it's getting, 2 of the first 3 of the third quarter, and it's starting to get a little bit dangerous.
Yes, as you said, perhaps Norwood just a bit unsure, but they had to have their shots on goal are outside the 50, whereas Glenelg are able to penetrate inside 50 for their shots on goal. Back in the middle. Nearly 10 minutes gone on this third term. Umpire Toby Medellin in the middle. Rux jostling for position. Cranston taps it towards Fisher. His kick is smothered. Bartamucci then dishes off to Dawes. It comes out towards Aish. Haven't called his name much this afternoon and finds Vlatko on a lead.
Just on the Tigers, boys, Trevor Cranston doing another great job in the middle, isn't he? Averaging 18 hit-outs a game, more than anyone in the competition this season, and he's certainly having an influence today.
So Jamie Vlatko, this is his first set shot on goal.
First kick, I'd say.
Perhaps,
Maybe
yeah.
not.
So it comes in. Ball's looking at that, holding up in the breeze. It's just not going to reach the goals there as it's fisted through by that Bay defence.
That kick's probably a good indication of just what the breeze is doing, isn't it, boys? I mean, Vlatko normally easily make the distance from 40 metres out.
Rudolph chipped in short. Panozzo just quite travelled at the required distance on that occasion. He's got Kane across the ground. He's going to go to him. Kicks out in front of him, allows him to run on. That was a magnificent pass by Panozzo. Kane gets his kick out in front of Button, pursued by Koshel. Well done, Koshel. Good tackle. There for the legs is Pupolo. And the ball goes over the line. And we have gone 10, nearly 11 minutes in this third quarter. And Norwood, you'd think they'd want to maintain this margin to have a realistic chance of winning this game in the last quarter with the breeze. Thomas. Another ball up. And Reese, what do you think the legs need to be at 3/4 time?
Looking at the scoreboard, look, what are they, about 4 goals behind now? They probably need to be within 2 to have a red-hot chance. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty tough, although they will come home with the breeze that we've talked about this afternoon.
Willoughby's kick out in front of Holmes. Holmes can chip over to Panozzo, he does. Panozzo's got Kirkby on his own if he gets it to him. Dygan had it covered though. Doldridge offers a lead. He's under it. And a very good mark taken there by Zorzi.
No, it's Bound.
It's Bound.
Bound still on Toddy Grimer as well, boys.
Thanks for that one, Damien. Bound chips it towards Colpert.
You'd have to say Bound's done pretty well on Grimer after the big first quarter he had.
Colpert out towards the outer side, and that time he finds Zorzi, but it went out on the full. Have a go for us, Damien.
Okay.
See if you can get the Bays 5 goals in front in this
Right.
passage of play.
As we watch Kirkby, sends it right up towards Glenelg's goal. A few players there, fly high, none able to bring down the football. Thomas has got it now. He's tackled by Block. Koshel trying to find Colbert, but finds the boundary line instead. And yeah, 8-4-52, 4-5-29. Don't think the Redlegs want it to go beyond this 23-point margin.
As we look down at the boundary line, boys, Brett Backwell having a spell for the Bays. Obviously done a fair bit of work this afternoon.
So Glenelg player there trying to charge through the pack. They're just inside 50. We're going to have another stoppage. So
Looks as though Daldig doing the ruck work here.
yeah, giving Cranston a rest. He's probably in the middle of the ground. Yes, he is. Another stoppage. So just Norwood perhaps chewing up a bit of time during this third term. Gallagher tackled by Holmes. Panozzo now gets around an opponent over towards Fisher. And meanwhile, the ball hasn't moved very far from that outer side of the ground on Glenelg's half-forward line.
Boys, interesting to see Vlatko now pushing up the ground. He's almost at centre wing. I mean, he's further in front of the half-forward flank than you'd normally see him play. So maybe that's just a sign that he's either getting cold feet because he wants a footy, or Trevor Hill's asked him to push up and just to try and get involved. But
well, if he's pushing up right in line with the, you can just see him at the bottom of the screen there.
Only one player behind the 50, behind the centre line, boys.
Yes, as it is in modern football these days. Rudolph is right up on the half-forward line for Glenelg. Sends it up to the full-forward spot. Chance there for Kane. Gets through one player, and as you can hear the Glenelg statistician get excited as Ben Kane gets his first. And Glenelg now march out to 9-4-58, leading the Redlegs 4-5-29.
We've said a lot about Brett Backwell this afternoon, but gee, Ben Kane's been busy, hasn't he? He's been all over the footy this afternoon. You know, a pretty well-deserved goal there as well. A good reward for what's so far been a good day's work.
So the Bays bouncing back after last week's surprise loss to the Panthers down here at the Glenelg Oval. They're second for the year against that side. Still in top spot though. Bounce down. Fisher's there. Is he trying to get away? Kicked by Davis. Looks out direction of Walker, but look at Rudolph lead in the race for the footy. He's there, keeps his feet, picks it up, has the support of Button. Only as far as Gallagher though. Gallagher, great tackle on that occasion by Panozzo. Slams him over the outer side boundary line, and that is a feature of Glenelg's football, Reece.
It is, and it's typified what they've done all day, hasn't it? You know, when they haven't got the footy, they're chasing, they're tackling, they're harassing, and most importantly, they're hitting the ball in the contest pretty hard.
Rowe got the knock away. Davis is there. Holmes is right on his hammer. And once again, Glenelg tackling stops the ball, and we've got a ball up.
We talk about the ability of Sam Rudolph to win one-out contests with the opposition's dangerous forwards, and look, he's just got the all-round package, hasn't he? Because I mean, he showed his leg speed to lead Walker to the ball by about 3 or 4 metres on that occasion. He's having a tremendous game and a great season.
16 minutes gone in this third quarter on the Pine Lodge time clock. 827-11669. Charles will fix you up with a copy of the game or any other this season. And has the sting just gone out of this a bit, boys, or is there a bit of life left in the legs yet?
Well, Norwood have only kicked 4 goals all day.
That's
They're going to need at least 5 more to even to get back on level pegging with Glenelg, and it just seems like There seems to be more players around the contest, around the footy, just blocking up the flow of play at the moment.
Horan got it over the top to Kane. Geez, he's been busy this quarter.
Good
A
tackle.
loud cry of ball around the ground from the Norwood fans. Sees culprit rewarded.
Would you make a move, Reece, on Rudolph? Perhaps change his opponent, perhaps Rowe, perhaps Bound, because he seems to be, he's got it all over Taylor Walker as we watch Simon Phillips take perhaps his 4th mark inside 50.
It's an interesting point you make. Taylor Walker has been well beaten today, but I mean, I think in the back of Trevor Hill's mind as well is that you know, Walker has got the ability to turn it on in the space of 5 minutes and kick 3 or 4 goals. So, look, I'm sure Mark Micken's pretty happy with the matchup at the moment.
Yeah.
But what else do you do with Walker? Do you maybe play him out of the goal square?
That would be my suggestion, perhaps. As we watch Timmy Weatherald, and makes no mistake, a great kick, kicking into that slight breeze down here at the Bay, and a much-needed goal to the Redlegs. So just staying in touch with the Glenelg side. They moved to 5-5-35, trailing Glenelg 9-4-58. Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard, a 23-point margin to Glenelg.
Not sure what Tim Weatherald's done in the past to deserve that sort of response from the Glenelg crowd. He got the good old-fashioned boos. Look, we mentioned before that Norwood need 4 or 5 goals to even get back on level pegging with the Bays. At the moment, it's pretty hard to see where they're going to come from unless the midfielders and Phillips and the like bob up, because the 2 key forwards, Vlatko and Taylor Walker, have been well held, haven't they?
They have. So Richard Williams back in the middle, throws the ball, football up. Allen, who's worked tirelessly around the packs, sent over towards Holmes, but he's set upon immediately by Donahue. And these are the types that have stood up for Norwood in the forward line today. Phillips and Donahue have been able to find a lot of the football, whereas the taller opponents haven't been able to. Taller teammates haven't been able to. So
probably not unlike Collingwood at the moment, with Medhurst and Didak and Dale Thomas and co kicking the bulk of the goal.
So Kane,
long string to draw, long bow to draw anyway.
Yeah. Sends Glenelg into a tap. Gallagher there, dishes off to Puopolo. Now, what's happened here? Is there a free kick going the way of Glenelg? Is there a bit of holding, or was that an incorrect disposal? But, Horan's got the football anyway. Jack Horan. So sending Glenelg, looking for Hinge there. It's an unusual target there, but Fisher's got the football. He's tackled immediately. We're going to have the ball up inside Glenelg's attacking zone.
Brett Backwell about to come back onto the ground. He'll be legs freshened up and ready to go.
Spills out towards Puopolo. Puopolo had Bound, but Bound's handball's found Fisher. To Holmes, who's forced to kick quickly. Does it quite well. Puopolo can't take it. In there is Kirkby. And 3 Redlegs make sure he doesn't get away for Glenelg. And it's just been Glenelg's forward line pressure again, Reece, that just holds that ball in the area and ends up creating scoring opportunities.
Yeah, completely the opposite down the other end, isn't it? When it's gone in, it's come out pretty quickly for Norwood's forward 50, and they haven't been able to take their chances.
Allen, high kick. Here's Gramer. Couldn't take the mark. Numbers with the legs. Zorzi got it away. His handball is Bartamucci, who just manages to hold his feet there and force it out of play. 2
errant handballs in the last 5 minutes from Norwood. There's just probably a sign of the pressure that back line's under. You know, you mentioned, Rob, Glenelg's forward line pressure. That's the sort of turnovers that it's creating, and it in turn creates scoring opportunities.
Koshel, good knock. In there working over the bases. Hinge got a high kick again. Underneath it was Diagon. Comes away. Here's Button to Kane. Oh, he took on the Bartamucci tackle successfully. Football ends up with Willoughby, and Willoughby, that's going to come back to Kane.
Bit lucky there, I thought, Kane, to get one high, because he took him on and he grabbed him.
Kane, he can make this. The man on the mark's on the 50. If the breeze is true to form, this ball will carry the line, given good timing off the boot. Kane, long kick is over the line. The umpire's going to signal a goal. And Glenelg continue to maintain their margin over the legs. 10-4, 64 leading Norwood, 5-5, 35, thanks to Cockatoo Ridge Wines.
Ben Kane, boys.
Great quarter.
How do you rate his game so far?
Oh, very good. He's been good around the packs, along with Ty Allen and the man at the back of the packs running loose, Brett Backwell there. But these on-ballers of Glenelg have certainly set up a lot of scoring opportunities there. And yeah, and then, well, as we saw then, they're not afraid to back themselves.
It just seems that Glenelg have more little blokes to rotate through the midfield, doesn't it, than Norwood at the moment?
There we go. Well, Jesse Aish has just made the error, just gone straight over the football, and Glenelg are away again. But Dygan, who's provided a bit of rebound for the Redlegs, sends them into attack. But only as far as McDonald again, they just can't see the targets, and that's probably about the fourth occasion we've seen him land the ball out in the full. Rudolph, no, he's got a bit of good work by Donahue. It appeared that Rudolph was away there, but gets it back to Gallagher. Now here's an opportunity for the Redlegs. McDonald looking to set it up in the middle. He's got player in Walker free.
How many metres did that travel, David?
I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure, but the umpire is closer there. Obviously thought it was 14.9.
Rounded up to 15.
Rounded up to 15, absolutely.
It hasn't been this man's day all game, has it, boys? So interesting to see how it comes off the boot.
Yeah, this will test him. Taylor Walker, he's certainly had, as you said, he can turn it on, and generally turns it on in the first half of football, and generally is quiet in the second half. As we watch this kick, well, he's done well on that occasion, right in front of goal, and brings up the Redlegs 6. So the Redlegs just maintaining that 23-point margin at the moment.
Yeah, 23-point margin. They're staying within, within striking distance, aren't they? But they really need to string 2 or 3 together to have any chance of snatching the points. A pretty smart kick from Taylor Walker there. I mean, he had a go in the second quarter from a similar position, and obviously and sprayed it. This time kept it low in the breeze and guided it through.
The only thing I can suggest is something like last week. Norwood were up at by 5 goals at three-quarter time against Centrals. Perhaps what they can take away from that loss is that they're not out of it if it's not beyond 5 goals.
Let it be a lesson to them.
Balls with Horan. His kick is looking for Grimer.
Oh, gee.
What a player.
That was a good mark.
He is a superstar, Todd Grimer. He's going to kick his 4th for the day here, you would think. And once again, the Bays getting the goal when it matters. And if they, in fact, do kick accurately, Reece.
Interesting family, Todd Grimer, brother of Nathan, of course, on the Kangaroos rookie list, injured, missed the season with a knee injury. Sister Holly, an Australian Opals basketballer.
The kick is straight through the guts.
Well, he certainly likes the northern end of the ground, Todd Grimer. That's his 4th.
11-4, very accurate, the Bays. 70, leading Norwood 6-5, 41, and his 4th goal. And
another quirky one on the Grimer family. They come from a tiny farming town in Tasmania, better known for hosting the National Penny Farthing Championships, I'll have you know, boys, than producing national sporting stars, but they're doing the town proud at the moment.
Yes.
Where are you pulling that information from? You've got a budget and a pad and a pen.
He's got the
Up
internet.
top, boys.
He's got it on. Right. Okay. Big thump there by Rowe. But Glenelg will probably take this away here with numbers around. No, it seems to be Norwood. Ball falls their way. Chance now for the Redlegs through their captain. Gallagher tries to set it up in the middle, looking for Vlatko. He had a few players there to beat, punches that out, looking for Donahue, too far for him. Glenelg now with Murphy and Horan there sharing it. He got a high tackle, will take the free kick. And, well, the Redlegs again just perhaps overused the football there, Reece.
Yeah, but I think it again shows Glenelg getting numbers behind the footy, you know, your Mules and your Pinozzo and co. They're very attacking defenders.
Pushing the back here, the Redlegs. McDonald is trying hard this quarter, up towards Davis. That's a good mark in front of the Glenelg opponents there. And usually we see Davis lining up in the back line, and perhaps that's one move that Trevor Williams made, is just to swing him forward.
Yeah, look, he could bob up. He looks a likely sort. Great hands on that occasion, so could be the spark that they're looking for, but he'll need to be on target here.
So Norwood need to get this goal here to get within 23, as they have they've done successfully so far this quarter, but no, that margin brings it back to 28. So 6-6 the Redlegs, 42, trailing Glenelg 11-4, 70. Cockatoo Ridgewine scoreboard.
Margin 28 points. Ends up for the Bays with Willoughby. His kick is to Holmes. Holmes turns, looks for McConnell, who couldn't take the mark. Nice work by Zorzi. And we'll have a ball up.
And just quickly, speaking of players who can turn it on in a purple patch, Justin McConnell was one of those sort too.
He is. He's had a quiet month compared to normal standards. Kept very quiet at Prospect and Broad Spectrum. But there's still a quarter to go and he can still kick 3 or 4. Pupolo. Coming away is Fisher. Left foot. Centering kick to the top of the square. And Grimer will kick goal number 5 from point-blank range. And at the 27.5-minute mark on the Pine Lodge time clock, we'll pretty much put this out of Norwood's reach.
I don't mean to harp on the Grimer story, boys, but there's another Grimer, Alex, a rookie at Hawthorn, and Central District will be kicking themselves that Nathan got picked up, because hadn't he been rookie listed, all 3 planned on playing at Central District this season. Not the case.
And there's the siren.
Gee.
Glenelg 12-4, 76, leading Norwood 6-6, 42 on the Cockatoo Ridgewine scoreboard. And goal kickers for Glenelg, 5 to Grimer, 2 to Ben Kane, and singles to Fisher, Holmes, Block, Ty Allen, Rory Kirkby. And for the legs, I have got 5 goal kickers here, boys. You might want to help me out. I've got Gallagher, Weatherald, Phillips, Walker and Donahue, and I've missed out on the 6th.
We'll address that in the last quarter. Sorry, mate.
Welcome back to the Pine Lodge match of the day, and it's Glenelg leading Norwood 12-4, 76 to 6-6, 42. Margin of 34 points, but Norwood to come home with the breeze, and they made a couple of moves. Kites up forward, bound into the ruck. Kane comes away for the Bays to Holmes. Holmes has a bounce. Kicks on the left foot towards Goldie, couldn't take them up. Beautiful recovery on that occasion by Zorzi, but it comes to Fisher. Can he put the icing on the Glenelg cake? He can. So Glenelg are 13-4, 82 and are going to be too far in front of the legs now, you would think, who are on 6-6, 42.
Yeah, great way for Glenelg to start. Not so great for the Redlegs, who would have been hoping to try and get the first couple on the board. Adam Fisher had a great day, hasn't he, boys? You know, helped out in defence and then drifted forward and kicked what you'd think it'd be, the sealer, or is it too soon to be saying that at 55 seconds into the final term, boys?
Norwood have kicked 6 goals for the day. They're going to have to kick 7-0 to win from here. It ain't going to happen.
No, it's not. Looks unlikely. But can Redlegs show a bit of spirit and get a bit of respectability on the scoreboard and not let Glenelg run away with this contest here this afternoon? Gallagher in there, but Glenelg just dominated here for most of the day. It was a pretty good quarter there for the Redlegs. We had 3 goal kickers. Walker got 1, Phillips with another, and Weatherald had a shot. But Glenelg 6 goals without a miss in that 3rd term. Set it up for this last quarter as it comes out towards Grimer, who again he's got looks like a row there on the mark. Another opponent. But anyway, I've got a ball eludes everyone, forwards and defenders there. Guys, kicked by Horan over towards Holmes. He goes around the corner and bang, Glenelg. They can't do a foot wrong. That's 8 goals without a miss.
So that was...
Boys, it's all very well to shift Aaron Kite forward to try and give you a spark, but gee whiz, he's going to be missed down back. And but that leads to another point. They've got to win the footy from the midfield to get it down there. I mean, Norwood have been smashed on the ball today.
Back in the middle, in that muddy middle down here at Glenelg, the cricket pitch area. Umpire's been throwing it up in there.
Goal assist to Todd Grimer, continuing his good game.
Cranston down to Backwell. This is looking dangerous for the legs now as the Bays try to build their percentage. They're trailing Sturt in that department and could be crucial come the end of the year. Davis gets towards the wing looking for Bound. Gutsy effort by Holmes. Bound unable to take the mark. Boundary line wins out. And Glenelg have started this quarter as they would have liked, and they've basically snuffed the game out.
Yeah, 2 goals into the breeze that we've spoken about, which is seems to have dropped off a bit now, but nonetheless it's still a little bit swirly out there. So I don't think they're going to have too many trouble holding off any Norwood charge.
Norwood with the draw, of course, percentage unlikely to come into it at the end of the year, but you never know.
It could be another draw, yeah.
But you've got to still play the game out, and I'm sure they will. They've been an honest side all year, Norwood. Deserving of their spot, 4th on the ladder in my opinion. Comes out, Kite gets a possession in the forward line, straight in the action. Kicks out towards the lead there of Walker, who's going to kick from just inside 50, 45-degree angle in front of the cricket club. He's kicked 1 today, Walker. He'll have to aim this at the right post. That's what Grimer's kicks have been doing, aiming at the right and swinging in. See if he's been watching. Walker misses left. 6-7-43 trailing the Bays, 14-4-88.
Just quickly, Reece, do you think there's a bit of a gap between the top 3 sides and where Norwood are situated on the ladder?
Yeah, well, I mean, you probably could have said that up until last week. I mean, Norwood, they took it right up to Central, didn't they? I mean, really, they should have beaten them. They were 5 goals up with, 25 minutes to play in the last quarter. But going on today's performance, they're nowhere near the base. And, I mean, it'd be interesting to see them when they play Sturt again, if they've got them in the run home, just how they match up. Because, I mean, they had Sturt against the ropes a few weeks ago at Unley Oval at half-time. And, Sturt ran all over them in the second half. So they certainly showed signs that they're good enough, but it's the old 4-quarter effort, isn't it?
That's right.
That they're looking for. Just looking, boys, on that, Norwood's run home. They've got Port Adelaide next week at Alberton Oval on a Sunday. Then they've got Sturt at Cooper's Stadium, and then they've got the bye. Interestingly, round 23, they're back at Glenelg.
Back here, yeah, they've got a tough few weeks in the run home and perhaps may even miss out on the finals. So a couple of big games coming up for the Redlegs. Can they turn the tide here? Walker gets around one opponent now. He's been able to take on a couple here. It's the first time we've seen Taylor Walker add a bit of flair to his game this afternoon. That was a great goal on the run. A good individual effort there by Taylor Walker. He gets his second, and the Redlegs 7th. They're 7-7-49, trailing Glenelg 14-4-88.
That's the Taylor Walker that we're used to seeing this season, and he's hit the pack hard. He's gathered the crumbs, turned around, taken his opponent on and kicked it long from about 50 on the run. But unfortunately, that's the first time he's done it all day for the Redlegs.
So the margin now 39 points. Bound hacks it out as far as Aish, but he's outnumbered. Kane out in front. What a game he's played for the Bays. Here's Fisher, another busy player. Thomas, tackled by Fisher. Handball comes back out towards the Redlegs player in Thomas. Cranston tackled by Gallagher. Ends up with Fisher. Little left foot pass out in front of Grimer. What delivery. Non-preferred side for Fisher. That's a good kick. Grimer wheels round. It's a rainmaker. Under it is Doldig, but flying is Kirkby, who couldn't take it. Ball's in dispute, and wrapping up there for the legs was Jackman, and we'll have a ball up.
Just while we've got a minute, boys, looking at Glenelg's next couple of weeks. Massive game next week. They face Central out at Elizabeth on, I think, Saturday night, but it's definitely next weekend. Then they've got the week off. And then with games against North Adelaide, the Eagles and Port, all you'd think they'd go in red-hot favourites and should seal top spot.
Yes, could well be in top position and have the first week of the finals off as Norwood now coming through, a bit scrambly there, but they've managed to break through the Glenelg back forward lines, coming through the middle. Donahue chips, but it eludes his full forward in Walker. Chance there for Kite. He tackles Button there, back to towards Gallagher. He's got a player free in Jesse Age. Jesse Age can just walk in and kick his first. Yes, someone said it's touched. Was it touched? Touched, it was. Yes, so disappointing there.
Just when we thought, boys, Norwood were going to kick back-to-back goals.
Yeah, would have been the first time for a while against Glenelg.
They did it in the second quarter.
They did, yes. That's right.
Mules. He looks towards Kirkby, who's going to be under it. Dygan's going to spoil this. In fact, he went into his back and not paid. And wrapped up there was Murphy, who have a ball up. Just left of centre on the members' wing. Up it goes. Murphy was pushed off it. Well done, Gallagher to Weatherald. His kick is out in front of Walker. And in fact, it's Phillips who takes the mark for the Redlegs.
Been lively up forward all day, Phillips.
And look, that passage of play, that was the Norwood we saw last week and the previous week when they ran riot over North Adelaide.
Perhaps Trevor Hill at three-quarter time has just said, look, get out there, boys, try and win the quarter and enjoy it and play a bit more free-flowing, relaxed footy, and this is what we're seeing.
Here we go. Phillips, can he kick Norwood's 8th goal? And he's just missed to the right, so they've missed their opportunities early in this last quarter. And they move along with 7-9-51, trailing the Tigers, 14-4-88.
Beautiful bit of play from James Gallagher to get it in there to Phillips there, boys. The blind turn and the long pass. He's one that can hold his head up high today.
So Mills holds the football up high and a big kick to the outer side of the ground. Koshel claiming the mark, but the player in front. Oh, wasn't thrown. And they're calling for 25. And it's pretty disappointing from Adam Koshel. Wasn't really called for there. So Curtney, is that Cranston? Gets a kick. Looking for Grimer. But Dawes there mops up for the Redlegs. Kicks to handballs to Bartamucci. He kicks up looking for Kite. He's got Panozzo there to contend with. But Glenelg went out again over towards Rudolph. Glenelg just gradually working their way out of defence through the agency of Backwell. Kicks out looking for Murphy, who's going to be leading the race for the ball, but beating him to it was Dygan, the speedster for the Redlegs. Now, good pick up. Now he's away. He'll take a bounce. No, he won't. He'll handball over towards Walker. He's got Rudolph to try and beat there. Chance for Dygan. He almost threw it off the deck there. But they're not getting anywhere here.
Dygan, how great was that? Got the big fist over, managed to keep it in play. It was a Jared Brennan-like pickup, wasn't it? Grabbing in one mitt and just took off.
His block, tackled by Donahue, going nowhere. So Norwood fighting this game out, still looking determined, still looking like they believe they can cause some damage on this scoreboard. Block, gets it out, round the body, goes Allen to Kirkby, well done.
Just quickly, Block is another player who's done pretty well on the ball for Glenelg this afternoon.
Back with Murphy, goes to 50, he's tackled, support of Fisher. Fisher, one bounce, straightens the body. Oh. No, he doesn't straighten the body, he does a check side.
Adam Fisher, on that occasion, grew up in the Wimmera, probably practiced his kicking at a wheat silo on that occasion.
Good mark, Gallagher. Brought it back quickly, the legs. Oh, Dygan's going to fly. No. And well held there by Kirkby.
Gee, Kirkby's been good the last 10 minutes, hasn't he? Presenting, great hands, and just giving a contest.
Well done, Kirkby. Held his ground, took a gutsy mark. Chipped in. Allen kicks Glenelg forward. Underneath it is Grimer. And Grimer will line up for goal number 6. This will test the breeze. So Grimer.
It looks like he's got a new opponent in the last quarter as well, boys. I've been a bit slow to pick on that. There's Sam Rowe. Yeah. I don't know when the move was made, but I think he was definitely went up in that contest.
I believe it was three-quarter time when Kite went forward, so they probably just changed around their opponents. Didn't see McConnell line up in the forward pocket, and Brett Zorzi had one of the taller forwards.
That is a beautiful kick.
Oh, monstrous kick. So he gets his 6th Big 6. Big return there from Todd Grimer. And Glenelg just can't do no wrong here at the Bay today. 15-5, 95 to Norwood 7-9, 51.
And didn't he love it, boys? He gave the big fist pump to the crowd and got excited. And why wouldn't you? 11 goals in 2 or 3 weeks of footy from Todd Grimer, arguably one of the recruits of the season at this stage.
Yes. So especially with a return of 6 goals, it's almost the Redlegs score here. There's Horan taps it out, but only goes as far as the Redlegs. And player in Colpert, who has had another disappointing game here today, is unable to get it. But one person who hasn't is Dygan. Over towards Gallagher, back towards Davis. He kicks it up, looking for Walker and Rudolph. Walker starting to find a bit of the football with a couple of late goals, but Mules there lending a hand. Stolen by Phillips, wheels around, but he's only got one forward for the Redlegs up against 3 Glenelg opponents. That was Jamie Blatko. Murphy steps in, takes the mark, and Glenelg are away again. Through the Forest and Sherwood, takes a bounce on this grandstand wing, kicks up. He's looking for the hot Grimer now. He turns around, will the ball beat? No, trying to keep it in, but he's stepped over the line. We have a boundary throw-in right in front of the new beer garden here at the Bay.
Surprised that didn't go right for Todd Grimer the day he's having. I thought he might have been able to keep it in play, but just getting away from him.
Here is Donahue.
Bit of friendly fire there, boys.
Intercepted by Block. Good pressure by
And he's
Phillips.
still down.
It's only as far as Horan. To Allen. Allen's kick out in front of Hinge. Beautiful pass, Ty Allen.
It looks like little Donahue, I think, has just copped a bit of friendly fire from one of his teammates.
Hinge thumps it towards the head of the square. There's beautiful mark. Grimer. This guy's a star. 6 on the board already. This will make it 7 and extend the margin to a somewhat large 50 points now if he kicks this.
Yeah, look, Grimer starring, and as we speak, Josh Donahue was caught in a pretty big hit just on the wing. He goes off to the boundary line, and he's got a towel up to the mush, so it looks like he's copped a cut lip.
Grimer pierces through Glenelg's 16th goal.
And that's gone straight into the schoolyard. I don't think we'll be getting that football back
On
for
the
a while.
Cockatoo Ridgewine scoreboard, the margin is 50 points. And on the Pine Lodge time clock, we've gone 15 minutes. You want to get a copy of this DVD to see Grimer's great performance? Call Charles on 8271-1669.
We mentioned, boys, in the third quarter, Justin McConnell had a quietish month of footy. I mean, that's probably a pretty good sign for Glenelg. They've been able to keep winning, I mean, bar last week. They're spreading the load. Brant Chambers said during the week that Rick McGowan had said to him that if you kick 100 goals in the season, we probably won't win the premiership. Good side, spread the load. So maybe it's a good sign for Glenelg that different blokes are bobbing up.
Well, very good point there, and they've certainly come out and played well as a team today. Plenty of individuals coming up as we watch Hinge go towards goal, but who's got it?
This is unbelievable, boys.
Call it. I mean, and that's just that previous kick. It seemed like no other red-leg defender flew up for it, and this one just lands in his arms, and he goes around, and he's made it. Well, he had to prove he was human and make that mistake.
I don't know what he was doing, boys, but he's managed to kick it 25 metres behind him.
Yeah. I think it might be time to drag him. He's on a bit of a high as the Redlegs, trying to get it out of that defence, and falls into the arms of Phillips, who's certainly played a good game for the Redlegs this afternoon, as I call that.
Look at that defensive pressure again. And not letting it out.
And just another thing on Chambers, I think they were talking last week about Chambers getting more than West Adelaide. I think the situation here is like Grimer might be getting more than what Norwood put on the scoreboard this afternoon.
Unfortunately for Norwood supporters, it looks that way.
Backwell has a bounce. Edge of the centre square. Looking in the Hinge direction. But a good mark taken by Jackman. Jackman goes across the ground towards Snouts Hill and finds Dygan. Chips over the top to Dawes. Dawes has Aish, doesn't use him. Goes inboard to Colpert. Colpert feeds off to Dygan. Dygan's got Thomas. Thomas, long kick. Vlatko couldn't fly and take it, but Phillips is going to crumb this and miss to the right. And again, the pressure of Benny Mules was too much to bear. Sherwood chips in. Here's Mules.
Has Sherwood been given the job on Vlatko most of the day, boys?
Yes.
Done a great job.
And over the line for a throw-in.
But perhaps in fairness to Jamie Vlatko, he hasn't had too many opportunities with the ball coming there, coming his way.
When it has been coming down, it's been bombed long with a prayer, hasn't it?
So Fisher from that last stoppage over towards Hinge over towards Willoughby. Haven't called his name much today. He's probably spent a lot of time on the bench here. Chance here now for Glenelg again. Now Batwell, who's fed the ball to his forwards all day today. His chance to get it one on the board. Makes no mistake. Glenelg marching away now. They're 17-5. So they've kicked, that's their 11th goal since half-time. 11-1 they've kicked since half-time. Norwood 7-10-52.
Boys, as we speak, Rory Kirkby looked like he was coming off for a break, but he's just done a U-turn and marched straight back out there. So bit of uncertainty as to what's going on here, but Mark Micken obviously happy to keep him out there. He's doing a pretty good job at the moment. Interesting point, Damien.
Yes.
They haven't seen to miss Matthew Bode much today, have they?
No, sorry.
The Tigers?
Yeah, no, he's they've been able to cover that loss, but on the other side of the ledger, Norwood, I think, have missed David Trotter this afternoon.
True.
Oh, there's going to be a free kick.
Another, and who's it go to? It's Kane. Well, as I said, like Matty Bode missing out of the side, the players like Kane and perhaps another one, Block, who finds it hard to keep his spot on the side, I feel, has really stepped up here this afternoon to cover that loss. So as we watch Ben Kane come in, he'll be lining up for his second. And, gee, this is an embarrassing situation here for Glenelg. We expected a tighter contest here today, but yeah, Glenelg have really responded after that shot loss to South Adelaide here last week, and they're just marching on at 18-5 to 7-10.
Not quite as embarrassing as May 23 when they registered just one goal, but you know, Norwood, every game from here to make finals when you're fighting off Port Adelaide, North Adelaide and co.
And the Eagles who are looking to get into the five as well. Yeah, perhaps this margin might be bigger than the one at the parade. I'm not quite sure if I'll just look up Glenelg's score that night, but
in the centre again, Button with his opportunity against Bound, 22 and 44. Umpire crosses his arms, and it's getting that time of the day where we look at best players, Reece.
Yeah, interesting for Glenelg.
I'll give you 10 minutes. Not wanting to put you on the spot.
No, give me a minute.
84 points was the margin Glenelg won by in round 9.
Throw up again. There's Phillips. Well done by Panozzo. Just typifies the way the Bays play their footy, just the little things. Here's Backwell on the end of it. Goes to 50. Over the Hinge. Hinge will go to McConnell, who's by himself, but Backwell's there. Goes around his body and sprays it to the right-hand side.
Gee, they're just playing with Norwood at the moment.
Margin is now 62 points.
So the agony will hopefully be all over for the Redlegs in about 5 minutes' time. Zorzi comes up the ground, but Glenelg again, Panozzo. He certainly will celebrate his 100th game in style tonight as he finds a teammate up forward in young Torren, playing, well, his only 32nd game here, but yeah, just all the players here this afternoon for Glenelg have all bobbed up and all contributed.
And Tom Holmes coming back onto the ground, 21 minutes gone.
So he gets his first, and Glenelg now 19-6, 120.
And on the Pine Lodge time clock, we've gone 22 minutes. Charles will gladly give you a copy of this DVD. His number is 8271-1669.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't think too many Norwood supporters would be ringing up for a copy, though.
No,
Chas.
they'd be probably looking at the Norwood Port game or a couple of other victories earlier this year. But I think the Glenelg supporters need to get on board and get a good package of victories that they've had here at Glenelg Oval.
It's shaping as a history-making season.
And the Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard, 19-6-120, the mighty Glenelg Tigers this year. They've won 13 out of 15 games, and the Redlegs 7-10-52. Culprit, quick little kick, and he's found Butamucci.
And it's gone silent here at the Bay with Norwood having a shot on goal, and well, another player who pretty quiet this afternoon, Matthew Butamucci, who certainly lowered Adam Sultala's colours last week at the parade, but unfortunately, like a lot of his teammates here this afternoon, have been down on form.
Yeah. Cockatoo Ridge Wine scoreboard again is a margin of 62 points for us. Yeah.
Pretty one-sided contest, isn't it, boys? And you see a few supporters making their way out of the ground, and so one-sided that there's even a couple of Glenelg boys starting to leave early, I think, try and beat the rush and get out of the car park.
Yeah, so Sting certainly well and truly out of this game, as we just picked up. Kite's been moved back onto Doldig. Unfortunately, that move didn't come off as we watch Block fly high, but only manages to palm it to Culprit, who kicks it out of the square. But Glenelg, as they've done most of this afternoon, reading it best in the back line there. Kane, defensive 50 up the wing, to looking for Hinge. Chance there for Rowe. Handballs to Captain Gallagher. Up to the centre forward position, but Glenelg again, as they've done all afternoon. Rudolph leading that charge from the last line of defence, but this time his kick's astray. McDonald picks up, trying to find Thomas, and ball up.
Just never looked like it today, have they, Norwood? I mean, they never were able to string. I mean, I think they might have consecutive goals on one occasion, but they just never look like threatening the Bays. Glenelg have had all the answers, whether kicking into the breeze or going with it. They've been too strong. I mean, it just shows perhaps that when Norwood's two key forwards don't fire, you know, you can't rely on a little bloke like Josh Donoghue and Phillips to kick a winning score, can you, boys?
Absolutely. And I think that's probably an indication of how well the defenders have played for Glenelg, and being able to read the ball coming through the corridor. The players in the middle of the ground have been put under pressure a lot, and their delivery to the forwards hasn't been best. As we watch Thomas come in and gets a late goal for the Redlegs finally, and they're just 9-10 now, 64, trailing Glenelg 19-6-120.
Do you think that Norwood have missed Adam Koshell's permanent presence in the forward line today? Had Stephen Doyle been playing, would have he been given a bit more freedom to possibly, would it have given Trevor Hill another option to experiment a little and to work with Vladko and Walker, who obviously weren't having an impact today? Do you think, boys, that it's created a bit of a hole they needed to fill?
Lost flexibility, hasn't it? Definitely. Culprit hacks it out. It only finds block towards Hinge. Intercepted nicely by Davis, who loses his feet, but gets it again. Back to Backwell. Short pass, only as far as Horan, who kicks into the woodwork, or just to the left-hand side of the woodwork.
Gee, just another example then, a kick by Davis under pressure. Just coming out of defence, there was just all Glenelg players there.
Dygan goes stump with a long one, but it's only as far as Button.
They've lost their way, the Redlegs.
Doldig puts a little pitching wedge up. Thomas takes the mark. Wouldn't have been happy with that kick at all, Chris Kane. The youngster looking to make an impression in front of Mark Micken here. Back to Allen. Here's Fisher. Oh, Culprit crunches him. Ends up with Allen. Allen, 70 metres out, looking for Hinge. He's underneath it again.
Oh, Phillips, gee.
Spectacular fly from
It
Phillips.
was. Away to Dawes. Dawes, little left foot pass. Great hands by Walker. Plays on quickly to Weatherall, who straightens his body. Very ordinary kick out in front of Latco. Gathers, Weatherall plays on. Good tackle, Mules. But they've got the numbers, the legs. Ace goes over the top, and Norwood kicked their third in a row late in this game, Reece.
Yeah, well, too little too late though, isn't it, boys? I think they're pretty lucky really to get it down that end and to kick a goal. The amount of skill errors that we just saw in the last passage of play from the errant kick-ins and wayward handballs. Walker, yeah, he had a pretty reasonable quarter, hasn't he, boys? I mean, he's turned his form around, but yeah, to no avail on the scoreboard, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the honours has definitely gone with Sam Rudolph here, but yeah, the Redlegs, well, trying to get, well, they've reached double figures in the way of goals, 10-10, 70, trailing Glenelg 19-7, 121, Cockatoo Ridgewine scoreboard, and Pine Lodge time clock ticks over to 28 minutes. Glenelg perhaps looking for their 20th goal. Walk away here this afternoon, but Davis gets in the road, takes a fine mark in defence. Over towards Matthew Dawes. Dawes sends it out centre wing. It's looks like Aish who's come into the game in this last quarter.
Where have these players been all day, boys?
Yeah, exactly. Jackman in the middle. Bartamucci knocks it out to the advantage of McDonald. Ball sits up for him and confronts a Bay opponent. Over towards Walker. Will he get his third? He does. So, well, it's a very good quarter to Taylor Walker.
His late goals have, if you look at the stats after the game, it'll probably tell you that he's had a half reasonable game. I think 3 goals, but unfortunately for Sam Rudolph, it doesn't quite show just how dominant Rudolph has been.
So the Pine Lodge time clock, 28 minutes and 52 seconds. Cockatoo Ridgewine scoreboard, 19-7, 121, Norwood. Glenelg leading Norwood 11-10 at 76. Back in the middle, probably for the last time today. Bown and Button. Colpert leads backward of the footy. And there's the siren. So repeating those final scores, it's Glenelg 19-7, 121, defeating Norwood 11-10, 76, thanks to Cockatoo Ridgewines. And we'll run through who we think, starting with you, Damien, 3 best players from each side.
Well, I probably have to, with a return of seven goals, you can't go past Todd Grimer. What an exhibition here this afternoon. He had a quiet second term, but rectified that in the third and the fourth, and couldn't do a thing wrong in the end. And by far and away the best forward on the ground this afternoon. I thought Ben Kane was very good for the Tigers here today, stepping up, perhaps filling that void that Matthew Bode left out, and I'd go for Brett Backwell, who set up countless opportunities for Glenelg.
I agree with those 3 Glenelg best players. How about you, Reece?
Yeah, look, I thought Ben Kane was terrific. He dominated on the ball all day. He hurt them on the scoreboard as well, didn't he, when it mattered? Sam Rudolph, I thought, was outstanding. He got the better of Taylor Walker. Taylor Walker was going to be the wild card, wasn't he, today? And he didn't. He was comprehensively beaten by Rudolph, so full marks to him. And of course, you can't go past Grimer with his 7 goals for the Redlegs. I thought Simon Phillips, he was the only one that looked like was going to give him a bit of spark up forward, and I think he can hold his head high. Nicholas Digan was, toiled away in defence all day, and Aaron Kite was pretty creative as well, wasn't he? So they're my 3.
I reckon Davis played a good game, but I'd stick with your 3 as well, I think.
So include Nick Digan.
Yes,
yeah,
Digan,
because I thought he would definitely, some of his pickups, and he finds a bit of space, provided a bit of rebound for the Redlegs.
And he was under pressure all day, wasn't he?
Certainly.
So that brings us to an end of today's coverage, and we will see you next time at Pine Lodge.
Congratulations, Glenelg. The winner of today's 3-match raffle is taking home $200 with ticket number 06A14. That's ticket number 06A14.